Hi, David. Welcome.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. I'm doing
Good.
amazing. How you doing today?
Doing good. Good to see you. Would you give me a little recap on who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so my name is David Rosenthal, and I'm the founder of a company called Pure Fire Foods. And we handcraft an apple cider vinegar based medicinal tonic. We're doing it here out in the mountains of Asheville, North Carolina. And our product is really great for cold, flu, upper respiratory, gut, sinus. And one of the biggest benefits of it is that it really boosts your immune system. And that's something that's so important right now with everything that's going on in the world is a lot of the talk has been about the immune system. So our product is really good for supporting that.
And how did you start making this? Was this something that you started on your own? Did it happen organically? Tell me the backstory.
Okay, I'll make a long story short. So at the end of 2014, one of my business partners gave me the opportunity to move out from Miami to the mountains of North Carolina onto a healing retreat center. I came from Miami and I wanted to, I have a company called Planet Kitchen that teaches people how to heal with food.
Okay.
And I wanted to simplify my life and start making my own medicine. And so it started with toothpaste. I took the fluoride out because fluoride's a neurotoxin. I then moved on to deodorant, made an aluminum-free deodorant that just was simple to make. And it was probably about February of 2015, or no, actually December of 2015, I started feeling a little under the weather and I got onto Facebook and a video came up for fire cider, which is what our product is based off of. And it was this woman by the name of Rosemary Gladstar, who's the godmother of American herbalism.
Okay.
And I'm watching this woman make fire cider, and I like instantly fell in love with her and her love for these plants and honoring them. And I made a batch of it. And I didn't have very many friends here yet. I had just moved here, and we have a local grocery store here called Earth Fare. And I knew one of the checkout guys in there, and I went in, and I had some on me, and was going through his line, and I had met him one time, hadn't seen him in weeks. And he's like, David, Planet Kitchen. And I was like, wow. He's like, so what's going on? Tell me what's going on with Planet Kitchen. I go, it's really wild you ask. I made this stuff called fire cider. And he's like, well, what's it good for? I go, well, they say it's good for cold, flu, upper respiratory, sinus. He goes, sinus? I said, yeah, that's what they say it's good for. He goes, my roommate's had a sinus infection for 2 months. Do you have a sample? So I was like, yeah, I've got some samples. Let me give you a sample. Gave him a sample, took it home, saw him a couple weeks later. He's like, dude, that stuff you gave me, it it knocked out my roommate's sinus infection in 2 days. He goes, you should bottle it and sell it. Wasn't my recipe. So I needed to make it my recipe on the property that I was living on was a 100-year-old cedar tree. And I sat at the base of that cedar tree and I called out to the plant spirits that whoever wants to join me on this journey to please come into my awareness. And that is where this company was born, was at the base of that tree.
Wow. Awesome. And then did you
Yeah.
know that that was going to become your full-time, or did you hope that it was going to become your full-time career, or was it still just a hobby, or what were you
You
thinking?
know, it's
For
when I
sure.
sat in that meditation, one of the things that really came through very strong was that make every batch with intention and from the heart. And by doing that, that your needs will be met. And that came through very strong. And I was like, you know what? I fell in love with Rosemary Gladstar in that showing her love for these ingredients. And I was already starting to make my own products. And I just felt in that moment that I really wanted to honor all of these ingredients that were coming through, which was the mushrooms were first, which are so important right now. Those came through very strongly, and the word anti-inflammatory came in super strong. So, yeah, I almost knew in that moment at that tree that this is kind of where my path was going to go, and that as long as I honored these plants and did it in a good way, that that this would be my path.
And what are some of the ways that you do that that are unique to maybe traditional bottling or traditional manufacturing for things like this?
Yeah, so what really separates us, because there's other people that make fire ciders on the market, which we can now use that name again. There was a
Hmm.
lawsuit that thankfully, is over now, and we're able to use that term again. What separates us is that so there's prayers that are said over all the ingredients before they're processed. The prayers that I use is from the Lakota people, and it's called Metakwiasan, which means all my relations, that we're all in this circle of life together, from the one-leggeds, which are the tree people that offer themselves, to the sweat lodges that heat the grandfather stones that go in, to the two-leggeds, to the four-leggeds, to the plant nation, to the spirit nation, to the four directions, that we're all in this circle of life together, that one no more important than the other, and that we're all coexisting, co-creating, codependent in this great mystery of life. So I say that prayer over all of the ingredients first. With every batch, there's intention for why we're making it, and those intentions revolve around really like raising the vibration of humanity right now. So I write those intentions out on blue tape, and I tape them to the outside of all the barrels. So each barrel has got, my numbers are 5 and 9. Those are very important numbers in my life. So there's either 5 or up to or 9 messages that are taped to the outside of the barrels, that if you know anything about Dr. Emoto's work with water, and for those that don't, he just proved that the power of intention can alter the molecular structure of water. So knowing that, and knowing that we're water beings, um, we take that and we put these beautiful messages on the outside of our barrels. Whenever I'm around the product, making the product, bottling it, there's always higher vibrational music that's playing in the background. I've had musicians that will come in and impart their frequency into our barrels. And every single bottle that's ever been produced, I've whispered, "I love you" into it, and then I cap it and seal it. So it truly comes from the heart.
Aw.
And yeah, I'm so passionate about this, and just so love what I do with this tonic.
Yeah, I love what an awesome story and way that you use intention to celebrate the magic of your product.
Yeah.
Are you masterminding any sort of shifts or changes during this time of social distancing or some levels of isolation? Have you been using it as an opportunity for new beginnings for your business? I know personally you are, but
Yeah, so really what formulating and working on right now is we're looking to do a non-spicy version of our product. I've prior to the whole social distancing thing, doing a lot of festivals and a lot of events. And when people walk up to the table, my first question is always, do you like spicy things? How's your tolerance for heat? And I'm watching a lot of people walk by the table that they just aren't resonating. They don't do spicy things. And I'm like, you know, why should I lose this opportunity? Because we have 3 flavors and up to 22 organic ingredients in our product. If I remove 2, which are the hot peppers, there's still so much more going on in there. Like, why not have a version that literally is for everybody? And also, too, my new wife doesn't do spicy things, so that was even more of a motivation to really start formulating one that doesn't have that doesn't have that punch that our current line does.
yeah,
So that's kind of been in the works, and really kind of, we've had to look at changing our business model a little bit. Um, a lot of our accounts have been wholesale accounts, and they're not currently open right now. So it's been just coming together as a team with my business partners and looking at e-commerce, And so we have been verified for Amazon. So that's something that's kind of in the works right now, getting our product up on that platform. And then also to putting out some content and showing some people that our product is more than just a medicinal tonic. A lot of our customers are using it as a medicinal hot sauce.
Sure.
It's so good on food. So we're going to do some videos highlighting the ingredients and really showing people, all the different 22 things that we're using in there, but then also doing some fun videos of, whether we're creating a salad dressing with it, throwing it into a juice or a smoothie, which a lot of people are doing, seasoning, whether it's chilies, it's great on eggs. It's, if people eat meat, our chocolate one is delicious as like a steak sauce. So just showing people the versatility of the product and the fact that it's something that, because it's so powerful in boosting the immune system, that this is not something that you just take, when you're not feeling well. This is something you should be taking daily as a preventative to just keep your immune system at the forefront right now.
Yeah, I'm a huge fire cider junkie, as you know, and couldn't do hot stuff for a couple of months last year, and it was a big heartbreak for me. Just even not being able to take things like fire cider that I love and adore the spiciness, and often
ours is a
use
little
myself a
spicier.
little bit, but now that I can tolerate the heat, I'm back to celebrating it. And your unique flavors are really like a nice change. I think it's fun to feature some variety to the norm, and you have your high vibe label, and you really get the message across for what you guys are doing, which is
and ours is a little bit hotter than some of the other ones on the market. We use a chocolate habanero that we source locally here in North Carolina, and with the cayenne, and it's so complex with all of most fire ciders sit around like 10, 11, 12 ingredients, and we're bringing up to 22. We also have the only chocolate fire cider on the market with Peruvian raw cacao and sweetened with the bring it in with
I love
Peruvian
that one.
raw cacao sweetened with a coconut nectar. Our product became vegan by accident. When I made the first batch, I had the honey there and I just forgot to put it in. And by forgetting to put the honey in, it became a vegan product.
Nice.
And so I just wanted to kind of stay that path with it. I felt like it was no mistake that I didn't put the honey in. So we use a low glycemic coconut nectar as our sweetener, which keeps our products vegan for those that are vegan.
Yeah. If you knew you would be supported in anything with dreams for your business or your personal growth, what would you do?
That's a good question. What would I do if I knew I was supported?
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting. I really feel supported with what I do. I'm in a really great community here in North Carolina. And I feel that it has really, really supported me almost from the beginning of this. If I had one wish right now, it would be that we just quadruple production right now, which we're slowly in the process of doing that. But yeah, I really feel supported in this time, and I've really felt supported from the very, very beginning of this.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a question really more about, is there a bigger step or a bigger leap that you feel like maybe requires more support than you might have? So that could be it. That could be scaling and producing more.
Worldwide reach.
Yeah.
Like I would love to be doing what we're doing in other countries, because our process is very simple. To just set up kitchens and have one in Costa Rica. Pick all these places that I
Yeah.
want to be and hang out in, and because I took the product this year down to Envision Festival, which, like, who knew at the time that was going to be the last festival that I was going to go to right now.
Yeah.
But took our product down to Envision, and it did really well there. We sold out. It was in multiple spots within the festival. So yeah, like growing some ingredients down in Costa Rica and just producing some there, and yeah, finding some other like really cool spots around the world to because shipping this would, it wouldn't make sense to ship this all over the world just
Yeah.
because of the weight of it and the cost of getting it there. So just opening up satellite spots all over the world to share this medicine would be my dream.
Yeah, I know we share a love for Costa Rica, and I
Yeah.
often,
Oh,
try to find ways in my head to legitimize a branch of wild ginger or whatever else I'm
yeah.
working on down there.
Well, please do that. Please,
Yeah,
please make that happen, and then we can facilitate that in through Wild Ginger there. But yeah, I
yeah, right.
love I love Costa Rica, and
Yeah,
yeah,
I've tossed around the logistics and the inner dialogue of whether or not it is realistic or if it's even possible. And I think for that well, I guess I'm asking myself the same question, right? Like there is a level of support that requires that is pretty
yeah,
extensive, and it's a
yeah,
pretty big complicated reach. But it's a wonderful space, and it really has brought me so much clarity and conviction to purpose of what I do and why I do it and the ways in which I do
mm,
it, because there's
yeah,
such a strong spiritual and mindful community there, and just like so many passionate souls
yeah,
from all over the
yeah,
world, which is what's really dynamic and amazing, and just a easier way of life, of course, that we
yeah,
sometimes uh, forget by just default of living in
yeah,
the United States.
yeah. I also want to have a tree house there that I live in.
Yeah, well, who doesn't? Come on,
Right?
treehouse and beach view, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
I also
you never
too
know.
I just want to thank you so much for like having this platform for people like myself, and giving us a voice in this time right now where we're all kind of hunkering into our own spaces. And so I really, really appreciate the fact that you created this, and are giving us an opportunity to share what's in our heart, and what our passions are, especially when they involve, making this world a better place and supporting what Pachamama has like given us as medicine. Our message is food is medicine, and
Yeah.
it's an important message right now. So thank you so much for the opportunity to share this.
Oh, of course, it's my pleasure. And I think, a lot of what I love most is sharing that message for people and really helping people to remember that. But we all need the reminder on the
Yeah,
daily. And some of it is just accountability. It's like, every conversation I have, and this is so very beginning stages of a long-term project, but every conversation I have, with you, it helps you anchor into what it is that you love about what you do and your purpose, and just drives that message stronger.
yeah,
And then just in hearing it every time gives me more confirmation about what I'm doing and what I want to do and the ways in which I want to feel, and what I want to embody in my future business ventures. So it's really like a spiral effect.
yeah,
Or it grows larger and larger every single conversation and every single time,
yeah,
and every little tiny twist of storytelling, because that's what we need to be doing right now, is celebrating what we're here for,
yeah.
and what that
Exactly.
purpose is. And it might just be the purpose for right now, or maybe it's the purpose
Yeah,
long term, but
yeah.
we all need that
Awesome.
nudge. So is there anything that you need to shift to get out of your own way when it comes to your purpose or your path?
Wow, what a great question. Yes, I have to be more comfortable with speaking my truth. Um, that really gets in my way of just sharing things with those that I need to share and not being held back by, is this how, are they still going to like me afterwards? It's very interesting because that happened to me in Costa Rica. There was a situation where I really needed to speak up and I didn't. And it was so interesting because when I got back from Costa Rica, I had a sore throat for like a good week when I got back from Costa Rica. And it was just because I didn't say what I needed to say. So, yeah, it would be just feeling comfortable that I just need to sometimes set boundaries and speak my truth.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you for advice for other soul seekers, and I feel like that is great advice on its own, right? Is being
Yeah,
able to speak our truth
yeah.
in whatever way it requires.
Yeah, most people don't like confrontation. Me being one of them, I don't like confrontation. And but I really broke through something this past week of that it's okay to just speak my truth. And that at the end of the day, we'll play this story in our heads of how it could be awful doing this. And how is this other person or whatever it is going to take it? And we'll play that story. And then at the end of the day, when it happened, it was like, wow, you know what? That wasn't so difficult, or that wasn't so bad. Instead of playing all these stories in my head of how it could be, instead of just being authentic as I am and just speaking my truth, that yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, and that's
okay.
a lesson that applies to everybody, truly. We've
Yeah,
all had different periods of our life where we've had to advocate for ourselves in different ways and
yeah,
learn to speak up to someone or something.
yeah, yeah. It was a great release.
Yeah, congratulations on that freedom.
Yeah.
A huge step.
Yeah, it was.
So, for one of the last things to ask you,
Yeah.
what are 3 words or adjectives that you would use to describe the work that you do with your business?
Passion, intention, and love.
Perfect.
Everything comes from that place, not only in what I do with this product, but it comes through in everything that I do in my life.
Well, and don't you notice that when you have that intention, that becomes it becomes a way of life, and everybody that is a magnet to you is
Yeah.
operating on that same vibration.
Love is the number one ingredient in our product. 1000%. I pour my heart into every drop that's in that bottle.
I love it. Anything else you want to share about the work that you do, or what brings you joy, or anything that has to do with this Dharma session premise, finding your purpose?
You know what? I would really kind of go back to intention. When I teach people how to make fire cider, so I get called to teach people how to do this. And when I go into those workshops or skill shares, I say the least I want you to get from what I'm going to tell you today is how to make fire cider. What the most I want you to get from this is the power of intention, that putting that in everything you do, whatever it is that you're passionate about, whether you're standing in the kitchen cooking a meal, whether you're an artist, a singer, whatever, just come at it with just pure intention and love. And that's really what I want you to get from this today. And you know what? You'll learn how to make some fire cider too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's perfect advice for so many of us, just to get clear with yourself about what you're trying
Yeah.
to create.
Yeah.
And you do some, we only have a couple minutes left, but you do some work outside of your fire cider also that
Yeah.
echoes that message, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want to touch on that a little?
Yeah. Some other plant medicines that I work with that, again, when I'm, whether it's having a ceremony or calling people in for a ceremony, it's really that before we even get started, like, you've got to have an intention for why you're sitting across from me right now. It's so important because these medicines work with that. So, it's very important to go in very clear of why you're doing this. And I'm very, very clear with why I am doing this company and why I'm doing this work. And we're making a shift, me, you've got that beautiful space in Sarasota with, just the all the touches that you've done in that store. It's very clear, like, what your intention and your focus and your vision is in that space. And I've had the opportunity to do a beautiful medicine kind of
Yeah.
cacao ceremony in your space, but just walking around and seeing the way everything is marketed, and you're very clear, I feel, in what you're doing. And it was a breath of fresh air to walk into your space.
Thank
Like, it
you. I
really
appreciate
was.
that.
So thank you for what it is that you're putting out there too.
Thank you. It takes a lot of life experience and sometimes a long road to be able to get that clear on what our intention is for
Yeah.
what we're doing moving forward. And that's a lot of what these Dharma sessions are all about too, is
Yeah.
getting clear on what it is you're doing and what you want, and then being loud and proud about it in a way that is authentically true to you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you so much for jumping on. I'm so glad
Thank you
to
so
see you,
much.
and I look
Thank you
forward
for
to
this
connecting with
opportunity.
you soon and having some of your fire cider in the store
I've,
soon. As
I've,
soon as
I've
we
got some
reopen our
coming your
doors.
way.
You
I've
got
got
it.
some coming your way.
Okay. Thank you.